Welcome to the Cyberculture Cafe series by Cyber Talks, presented by eSentire. I'm Andy La Laguna, and I'm here with my friend and colleague, John Moretti. Together, we're excited to introduce you to some fascinating members of the eSentire family. In this series, you'll get to know their story, the challenges, their successes, how they got here, what motivates and drives them to deliver the best service experience in the industry. This is Cyberculture Cafe. Welcome to another episode of the Cyber Culture Cafe podcast, where John and Andy will introduce you to another fascinating member of the eSentire family, how they got here, what motivates them and drives them to deliver the best service experience in the industry. Welcome, Rhiddima, to the Cyber Culture Cafe podcast.
Welcome. Yeah, so let's just get this right off the top of the bat. It's Rhiddima.
Rhiddima.
That is how we're going to pronounce your name. So everyone who's going to be listening and watching this podcast or listening to this podcast, please pronounce her name correctly from now on, because she's not going to answer you anymore. So listen, you got to say it's Rhiddima.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Okay, cool. And I've always called you Rhiddima. And I'm like, okay, well, you should have said,
I like that too.
Rhiddima's got a bit more of a ring to it.
Yes, Rhiddima is cool. I like that. Who are you talking about?
There's another that puts in another layer.
Yeah. You know what it's like? It's like Rihanna. Rhiddima Rihanna, right? You could be like a famous singer.
Yeah.
Right, there you go.
You shorten it to like Riri just for fun.
Right.
I respond to that as well, so whatever works.
All right.
So, Rhiddima, tell us a little bit about your current role and what your current role and responsibilities are within eSentire. And if you can, how you got to that point.
Yeah, of course. So currently, I'm a technical product manager for eSentire, and my main focus has been on third-party integrations, integrating different pieces of technology with our platform and making it more seamless day by day. Right now, not right now. We're in the middle of a few integrations that we're doing right now. But in the past, we've done integrations that have taken us like months, over like 3 to 4 months to achieve, and then go to market with that. But we're trying to make our platform in a way where it's easy to plug in a technology that a customer may have, right? Because the customers already do some sort of tech investments on their side. So it's just easier if we can just, have them plug in their technology into our platform and either ingest data for investigation purposes to help our SOC get more context about the threat landscape. So that's my primary focus right now, along with other platform innovations that I'm doing on the side as well. So yeah, I've been a technical product manager for about 2 years now, and I've been with eSentire for about 8 years in total.
Wow.
Yeah,
That's amazing.
I started as a co-op at eSentire, which was so I don't know if you guys know much about co-ops. Do you know what co-ops are? So I moved here in 2015 to Canada, and I moved here for studies, and my course was 2 years, and out of the 2 years, 6 months, 4 to 6 months was a co-op term where 3 semesters you study in college, and 1 semester you go work at an industry.
Oh, cool.
So
like
that
an internship or something.
Internship, yes.
Internship. Yeah, I was going to say, it sounds like, yeah. Okay, cool.
So I interned here for my 3rd semester for 4 to 6 months, and I was a part of the systems team, and I built our network sensors, like the boxes that we still build today, but that was the primary thing we did.
That's what they had you doing?
Yeah.
Come on in here, start building these. Okay.
I used to configure the Linux boxes and everything.
That's awesome.
I did that for 4 months, and then I had to go back to school to complete my education. I graduated and everything. And then I got rehired full-time in the same role. So they just converted the internship role into a full-time role, and they had me back in the next 6 months. I continued I continued in the deployments team doing network sensor builds for about a year.
Oh, that's incredible.
Yeah. It was actually, there are a lot of us who are co-ops turned into full-time into like leaders and different roles here. Um, and from there, then I think our team moved quite a lot, like in and out of systems. We were a part of customer success at one point and whatnot. So I've been in the build team. I've been in the technical services team, which used to be an extension of that team, but working more with customers. And then we went from having just network to having a lot more different portfolios.
Yeah,
Uh,
everything opened up.
yeah,
Yeah.
so I was a sysadmin, and I worked with like Linux and everything, and then eventually like Endpoint came on board, and yeah, learning new things about Endpoint, and then like cloud and all of that stuff came on board. So yeah, and then from technical services, I think I went into the team lead role.
Mm-hmm.
And in 3 months, I was the manager of that team, which was a shocker, but
That's awesome.
we did that as well. Yeah, I was a leader for quite some time before I moved into product. So yeah, I've been in a few places, different spots, different capacities. But yeah, it's been about 8 years. I was just
That's
thinking how
that's
long it's
cool.
been.
Wow.
8 years.
That's actually unique because you get to see all the different people, all the different roles, all the different stuff. So you're integrating those open, those technologies, whatever's in the customer's environment, I think is where we want to get to, where we really want to support whatever they have. But so we're going to talk a little shop for a minute. So how do you get those integrations, to work? I'm sure some are different than others. Some might be easier than others, right? Some might be really difficult, like you mentioned. So what are we doing? How are we integrating that stuff into our platform?
Every technology essentially would give us a different kind of capability.
Like a connector into the into the
Yeah.
platform?
As long as there's an API, like we interface with the technology through the API. That's consistent throughout. We have an API on the technology. We put that in our platform, and our platform pulls the data. But what we do with that data is very different and depends from technology to technology, and it's very vendor dependent as well. Even if they don't have an API, there's not much we can do. If they have an API, and depends what they allow with the API, like they allow us to pull all the telemetry, some of the telemetry, do they allow us to take an action, and all those. So it's very vendor dependent in terms of what we can do with the data. And in some cases, like, it's just we can just pull assets or like entities from that connector, and then we can just show that in our assets UI. And then it's just giving a little bit more context to the customer when they get an alert. Like they don't get an IP, they actually get like a host name. That's the asset and the entity side of things. Some
Doesn't sound fun. It doesn't sound fun at all. It sounds like it could be a little bit crazy and tedious and a lot of work, right?
Yeah,
Because you don't know what you're gathering yet. There must be so
absolutely.
much testing you have to do
Yeah, oh yeah,
in order
there's
to
a lot
do
of
that.
testing. And in the past, the vendors we worked with, we have a direct relationship with the vendor. So we have access to the vendor support team and their engineering team and their solutions architects and everybody. But in this case, we don't have a direct relationship with the vendor. We're just like, we have an ask from a customer, or we've seen a lot of asks from the customer to support a technology, and they own that. So they have the vendor relationship. So we necessarily don't have a vendor contact or anybody. So, there's a bit of like scrambling out there as well, because we run into issues all the time. Like we don't know everything about the technology. And even from a customer perspective, they use the technology, but they may not know how it
Do
essentially
certain things. Yeah. Yeah. A
like,
lot of those teams probably just use the tools. They don't know how it's
exactly.
integrated or how it's set up.
Yeah.
So when you're setting up those APIs and you're pulling them in, I mean, I guess the whole idea would be you want our platform to do everything for the SOC analyst, so they don't really care what that other technology is. They don't
Correct.
need to dive into those other technologies. I mean, it's nice that we can go into some of those now. Like a lot of our competitors can't. They can go into CrowdStrike and Microsoft, all the things that we support right now. But as we bring on more open integrations, I think that's going to change, right? Because they're not going to go into everything we
Absolutely.
support.
Because that adds a lot of like overhead of training,
Right.
SOC,
It's
making,
hard.
yeah, like, and you're trying to learn multiple different platforms, which is great when you think about one platform, but when you have like 20 of
Yeah.
these to do, it's just a little bit tedious.
Yeah.
And we're trying to we present everything to us to the SOC. That way they look at it as data. They don't really need to know where it came from. I mean, they do know where it came from, but that's not. They can just they look at endpoint data and it's endpoint data.
I was going to say that. So, like, they don't really care if it's CrowdStrike or Microsoft, but they know it's from an endpoint. So they're going to bring it in and they're going to do what they need to do to threat hunt and so. Great. That's awesome.
And that's very vendor dependent again. Some vendors, we're working with Palo right now, and then they do have APIs. They have API capability. We can pull alerts, but we cannot pull the additional telemetry. So yeah, we run into a lot of issues, but
So how are you going to do that then with Palo? How are we doing that?
They do have XQL queries that we can do. So we have an Atlas action that is pulling that extra data and showing it to the SOC as an example. We also have a way to leverage our agent and co-deploy. We don't have that.
Oh, so that's how we're going to do it.
Yeah, that's another avenue that we could we could leverage to co-deploy agent and then pull extra telemetry through the agent.
Oh, that's actually a good idea. See, I like that we're going to start bundling our agent with a lot of stuff because that's going to give us the ability where those APIs and those other things are going to fall short. We're still going to be able to isolate a host. We're going to threat hunt and take what we need to do. So I like that.
Yeah. And our focus is to use the technology's capability as much as we can.
Right.
Do everything from the technology. And for things that, we cannot do from the technology, then perhaps leverage the agent if we have to.
That's a great idea. I like that. That's actually pretty cool. So the last really kind of thing about Shop, we'll kind of want to ask you. So, and I get geeky and excited. So what are some of those cool things? Can you give us a little update? I mean, I know we've got a lot of stuff from SKO, but what are some of those cool things? So
Palo's new on the block, isn't it? So
I mean, we knew about Palo. We know about Wiz eventually coming down the road.
There's CrowdStrike SIM that we're talking about.
Yep. I heard about that.
Yeah, and then there's a lot of log sources that we're talking about. So Palo is a standalone, that's going to turn into a service offering, but a lot of different technologies that we're planning to bring on board as a part of the log source, like Atlas log, and then sources that go into the Atlas log. So there's Okta that we're working on actively right now for different capabilities. We're working on Okta to take a response action, which is coming sooner, but Okta will also be an asset source, which would help us pull identities and populate the IDs.
That's big.
That's
actually very cool.
Yeah,
because there's some people that don't have Microsoft or don't have CrowdStrike. How can we protect their identities? And this is going to be the way we're going to do it. This is nice.
Yeah, and then Okta becomes a log source as well, so we would be pulling the log
data
from the log data. Yeah.
How do you feel about that unlimited log stuff? Be real. Go ahead, you can say it.
Yeah, I mean, it's it's unlimited log, but it's not unlimited log. So I don't know. That's where I am.
It's unlimited log with conditions.
Yeah,
well, I think it's. I mean, I like the idea, to be totally transparent and honest with you. I like the idea of giving the customers here's the sources. That's what's going to be unlimited, right? Because these are the most critical things in your environment that a threat actor is going to look at, that we need to have unlimited logging. So it's continually logging. We can see everything. Like the other things in an environment that aren't, I don't want to say they're not important, but they don't have to be unlimited, right? You can log those sources for compliance and other things. But the stuff that a SOC analyst is going to need to threat hunt in your environment to protect it, that I understand can be unlimited. And when we give them a list of sources, here they are. It helps down with the scoping that we have to do because we already know the sources. Here they are. What are they? Easy, right? I mean, it's easy for us to say this. Now you're the one doing all the integration, so that might not be so easy. But I like that. I think that's going to help us a lot.
It definitely has a good sound to it.
Yes, everything has a great sound to it if you talk about it.
I think it's a good conversation starter. So maybe.
I think that the reality is that the audience needs to understand is, for most people, SIEM equals SOC. So unlimited log means, great, I can listen to everything, I'm golden, because SIEM equals SOC. Our approach here is fundamentally different. SIEM is just an aspect. It's a feed of telemetry that may be of value during certain circumstances, and that's fine. What's more important is a more generalized picture of the entire estate and what's going on, how things are developing, what normal looks like, perhaps what normal doesn't look like, because something is starting to develop. But that isn't predicated on a single source. And that, I think, is what the audience needs to come away from, is other vendors are leaning into that prejudice, almost prejudice, but that's not the case. That's not the reality here.
Well, it's funny, and I'm glad you brought that up, Andy. It's like we want to see things in real time. I love log. Log gives you a lot of information, but there's no response with the log.
Right.
I can't isolate a host with the log. I can't block malicious IP traffic, but I can get information about what my next steps are going to be. And I do like the fact that we've built, and this is what I tell people all the time, partners, we're not just logging data. We have those proprietary runbooks, so they trigger an alert to the SOC so they can take an action based on something that's already taking place, because the log is written after something happens, right? It doesn't automatically, there's just no log there. Some event has to occur for that log to be written. Now, I love that, that kind of, I don't, you're right, Andy, with the, they think SOC equals the SIM, and they even think our platform, is it a SIM? No, it's not. It's not a SIM. That's just a little piece. That's just a source that we're ingesting into our platform. Our platform is totally an AI driven machine learning platform that changes every day. We're adding new stuff to it every day.
And this is, I think this is the key thing, is that, what Rhiddima is doing is adding detail and fidelity to a data stream that the analysts can actually do some real work with, because it boils down that the SOC is the people. It's still the people. It always will be the people for the foreseeable. There's no way AI is going to replace that anytime soon. That experience, that capability, that innate vision that they have, that's okay. I don't need to worry about that. But this bit's getting interesting. This is going to develop into something nasty. I need to focus here. The more telemetry, Rhiddima, you can provide those people with, the better they're at their job. The faster the tools come to hand, the faster they can move to action.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, it's every person we've talked to, the things and the jobs and the roles they have, there is honestly no fortune and glory in what they do. People don't even realize what's going on in the background. Like your job, it doesn't sound like it's a fun job, but there must be something for you that you get up in the morning and say, I cannot wait to go to work today. So what is that? What gets you out of bed in the morning that says, I want to just try to integrate everything? That sounds like a fun day.
I do. So I've been on the operation side for a majority of my eSentire life. I do like the product side a little more than the operations. Just in in terms of building solutions and doing something that matters. I think that ultimately, when you see that go into production and when you see the value out of it, I think that's just that's quite fascinating to see. There's also, we have really cool swag. Like all three of us are wearing swag. That's eSentire has some really cool swag. These are the newest hoodies that we got from the Prod and Job side. But yeah, no, I mean, in terms of motivation, I've always wanted to be into a tech industry. The way I got into cybersecurity or at eSentire was I graduated and I had a job. So it started off that simple. But I think what's made me stay all these years is just doing something that is valuable and adding value to customers or the organization or just building more value for somebody. That's just it's quite fascinating to see that happen.
This is a common theme, and
Yep.
And I think
for sure.
And especially at eSentire, I think the people here are so great. And I know everybody's super busy. You talk to any team, everybody's so swamped.
They got stuff going on. It's crazy, all the things that are happening. I know. It's and we don't even, honestly, and I tell everybody this. We were talking yesterday at the presentation I do. I mean, like Andy and I, we have fun jobs. We get to tell your stories, right? We're not in the trenches, right? There's so many teams doing 50 billion things at once to make it all work in the back end, like all behind the curtain. And we're just saying, oh, guys, all the
Honestly,
things we're doing is awesome.
like I hear about like a lot of things that you guys do, and I'm sure it's like fun, like you said, but I don't think I could do that myself. Like,
Really?
oh, I think I would make like a terrible like salesperson. Like, really, I would be like so bad at it.
No, and for that reason is why you wouldn't. We don't sell. We don't sell. None of us sell.
Yeah, yeah.
Um,
But like, like talking to customers, like talking value, and like I'm sure like you guys get like a lot of like different kind of customers who challenge you, right? I mean,
Sometimes.
what
Yeah.
you do, like why do I, like, you're not selling, but you're at least like talking about that convincing story.
Sure.
And like, yeah, I don't.
See, you know what it is too? It's difficult sometimes for us on this side, even like I'm on the channel side and Andy's more direct too, but Andy's job, he does direct and channel over there. So he's doing both. Everybody says they have a platform. Everybody says they do MDR. They are truly different from us. And it's because of you guys. All the things that are happening in the back end, that's what makes the difference. And that's what we want to express to everyone. Says you guys really honestly don't believe all the stuff that's happening that our customers get for free.
A lot of the audience don't understand actually,
Yeah.
what it takes to build and deliver this SOC as
that. Sure.
Ostensibly, we're a SOC as a service, right? But we are surrounded with these supporting technologies and capabilities, these resource presentations, all of these various bits sit around and wrap around the service, and people don't understand. Yes, it's 160 odd SOC analysts sat between Cork and Waterloo, but it's the people that support them and allow them to do their job that they do. They don't understand that the other 400 odd people in the company are all there to support those guys doing the job in the SOC. And then when they sit down and work that out, you want a SOC? You're going to have all of this.
Yeah, this comes. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, no.
Yeah.
And like, just coming back to the people, I mean, like everybody's busy, but like everybody's still willing to like help. And I think that's the greatest part I've seen here. Like everybody wants to like help out, and I'm sure like there's only so much you can help out. But, you yourself are like kind of drowning. Things. But still, like even with that, I feel like everybody's like so happy to help, or like just even like as little as like answering a question or like doing something for someone. I think like everybody just is so easy to work with here. But yeah, like no, I think the people here are really nice to work with overall. Yeah.
No, absolutely.
Has that surprised you that this company is the way it is, Rhiddima?
A little, like, because I've worked in India before, and it's quite different. Culturally, it's very different to work in India. Like just the relationships you have with your peers and the relationship you have with your leaders, right? I mean, it's quite different there. And here it's very different that way. Like it's quite. I don't want to say casual because we're still like professional and like we're still building things in a really.
But you're a family.
But yeah.
Yeah.
You don't.
Yeah, that's important.
Yeah, you still like respect each other and everything, but like you're there to help each other. Like it's easier to talk to your leaders here. Like
Yes.
you don't like something or you don't agree with something, it's easy to bring that up. I feel, or at least like I've been really fortunate with like my leaders here, and I've worked with a lot of them because I've been in like different capacities. Like I've worked with Leslie, Tia, but right now with like James Tomlinson and like Curtis, Mark. Like everybody's like so easy to work with, or like even ask a question, hey, why are we doing this, or like are you sure this is a good idea? And they're not like offended or anything like that. They're happy to help and like support you in any way possible. So yeah, I think it's nicer here for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that open conversation allows you to progress faster as well, and everyone to progress faster because you can be very plain speaking, and no one's going to take offense at that.
Absolutely, yeah. You can like ask anybody anything, and like they're usually just open to help give their perspective to things, right? So It's quite nice that way. And even in terms of like opportunities just within the company, like taking myself as an example, like I started as a build team member, and like, I progressed within that area, and then I moved. It's essentially like a career switch. Like I don't think I would have like switched to product because I don't have any like product education or like certs or anything like that. Uh, it's just something like, I've seen people do while I was on the operation side, because I used to still work with a lot of product engineers just from a stakeholder perspective. And it was just like, yeah, this is pretty cool. Like, what do I do? Like, how do I get in here? Uh, and it was just easy, like, to just talk to like Curtis and Mark at that time, be like, hey, I want to move to product, but I don't have education around it. What do you want me to do? And they've taken time to like talk to me about it, and we've discussed different roles and opportunities, which at that time were not a good fit, because like, they know me, and like, they know product. Essentially, like, sir, like in the past they were just like, yeah, I don't think this is great. But at the same time, when something great came along, they were like, you know what, let's try this. And like, I don't think I would have like switched over to product in a whole different company. I was like, if I have to switch, I'd probably do it at eSentire. I have a little bit of like a cushioning. People already like me, so like, even if I like screw it up really bad, it's not going to be super terrible.
Yeah, right. And then, everybody learns from those things.
Yeah.
That's how you get better and better. I mean, there's no, you can't be great unless you fail once in a while, unless you make some mistakes. But you don't know until you do something, and you can't. Honestly, it's easier to say than done. You can't be afraid to try something new to do it. If it works, it's awesome. If it doesn't, you learn from that. You change. I mean, that's kind of the way things are going. That's the way everything's going, especially with security today. I learn new stuff every day. It's never the same day. There's always new things, always new services, always new things coming out, always new terminology, new threats every day. So, I mean,
It keeps you
it's
going.
exciting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's so much to learn every day. Like even like working with different technologies and like what they can do. Oh, up until yesterday they couldn't do this with the API, but now they released something and now we can do this. Oh my god, let's pivot, and like, all.
Are you using AI at all to integrate into the different platforms out there, different services, different technologies?
No, we're not using AI to integrate with them, but once integrated, we're feeding that information
Mm-hmm.
to some level in like AI to generate a summary or something like that. Like
Right. Okay.
yeah, like recently I think Glenn launched Investigator, Glenn and team Investigator, the Copilot piece.
Yeah.
And that's using some of the information that's coming from Palo to provide a summary. So yeah, like we it does become into a use case eventually, but we're not using it to actively integrate new technology.
Integrate. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, not yet, but eventually you may.
Oh,
APIs may change, and that may change the whole ball game down the road. Maybe it's going to become easier, for integration.
Well, I mean, I was thinking as you talking about it, Rhiddima, I was thinking, AI could be used to trawl all the forums and chat rooms where they talk about the various tricks that the general user population have been playing with that particular API. It might be useful just to give them a scan every week or every month and collate the latest and greatest tips and tricks that the general user population have, and then collate those in and see if there's any value in them. That would be a nice way to start to do that analysis.
Yeah. I mean, hopefully you get the data good from the internet. I mean, from AI, because you don't know. There's garbage out there. I mean, who knows if it's
Oh no, 100%. But I mean, it's just
that's a lot.
Here's another list. Add that to the list that we've already got. This is the stuff that we know works because we've been testing it, and it tags onto the list. And that looks
another
like
fun
it might.
Job. That sounds exciting.
Oh, it's painful. I mean, it's how we would do it manually. I mean, that's how you would do it manually.
Yeah.
I mean, Rhiddima obviously.
On the personal front quite a lot. No, I was just saying I use AI quite a lot on the personal front. It's just easier.
That's awesome. Yeah. Right. Yeah.
I recently got married a month back, and my my husband, well now husband, he was like, "Don't you dare write your vows using ChatGPT."
That's awesome. That's really funny. So is it you? When you
you didn't use ChatGPT to write your vows, or you didn't use ChatGPT.
No.
Yeah, no, that came from the heart.
He
There you
actually
go.
ran it through like some software which actually tells you if it was on AI
Oh,
software. And no, I did not.
oh, that's cool. Get out of here. I didn't realize that. That's nice. That's great. So, so let me ask you this. If you can go back in time, what would you tell yourself 10 years ago? I mean, 10, 10 years in the past. What would you tell yourself? Your 10-year old self there,
Um, my 10-year self, just chill. Like, don't be so worried about like how things are gonna turn out. Because like yeah, like 10 years back, I was so back. Yeah, I was still like figuring out like work wise, career wise, making decisions like should I move to a different country, which country should I move, and all those sort of things. So yeah, it was quite chaotic because we're just trying to like figure things out and plan things. Um, Plans don't work. I mean, at least for
yeah.
me,
No,
yeah,
no, there's
like
always a
the
change.
timeline and plan and like the all of those things. Um, I had one. It didn't work, but it still worked. Like something else worked out. So like like
It
just
all happens for a reason.
yeah,
Things change and happens for a reason. I always I like that answer. That's incredible because when you think about it, there's so many things beyond our control
oh
that
yeah,
we worry about every single day. At the end of the day, it's like, well, I mean, does it really matter? It's
yeah,
all going to work out. I mean, we have no control over the things around us or what's happening. It's like
yeah.
you just got to roll with it, see
Yeah,
what happens.
and honestly, if it's not gonna matter, like I know this is probably like we've seen this on the internet. Like if it doesn't matter, if it's not gonna matter in the next 5 years, don't worry about
Don't
it.
worry about it. Right.
Yeah, like it's fine. It's temporary. It's gonna change. Uh, but yeah, like I think I would just tell myself to worry a little less and like be a little more chill because no matter how well you plan things out, something's gonna go off, but something else gonna make it work. So
Yeah.
in the
Yeah.
end, it's gonna be fine.
Yeah. That's incredible. Fascinating. There's always new stuff we learn about people every time we talk to you guys and
So,
different quests. It's
all right. So
amazing.
let's take another tack then, Rhiddima. Obviously, the plans didn't work as you expected, but they've worked. They've worked. They've still worked, and you sound very, very comfortable and happy here. What do you do to recharge your batteries?
I travel. I love traveling a lot. So Andy, last when we talked, I know you were in some cool place and you were like talking all about that city you were in. I don't remember, but yeah, you were just. I was just so happy to know people are traveling, and I love traveling myself. I like to see new places.
What's your favorite place?
Um, I haven't. So one of my favorite places that I've been to, I think I really like Mexico a lot.
Hmm.
East Coast
One
or
of the
West
places.
Coast?
Sorry, what?
East Coast
The
or
hotel
West
zone. Actually, you know what? Both. Because
Coast?
we went to the hotel zone last year, and then we took a trip into like the pyramids area and everything. And I think I like that a little more than the beaches. So yeah, I mean, historic places, something that has history attached to it. I love those. I even within India, like I love exploring certain cities in India, Rajasthan and Jaipur. They're very like they have a lot of history attached to it. So anything that's historic is one of the favorite places. I whenever I go back, I go to India often, maybe like every year and a half, and it's a long trip back home. So I try to do like one country on the way back or something like that. So we did Egypt when we were
Oh, that's cool.
2019, 2020. So we did Egypt because we stayed there for like 2 days or something, and then we did the whole Cairo area. We did the pyramids, the museum, and everything. So
Oh,
anything
that's awesome.
you did the museum as well.
yeah, yeah, yeah. It was
That's
really
incredible.
They've got a big
Wow.
exhibition on now for Tutankhamun
oh
coming
yeah,
up
yeah, yeah,
this summer.
yeah.
That's awesome. Wow, I would like to go to Egypt. That'd be cool.
Uh,
Hmm.
And one place that I'm looking forward to go is Iceland. So hopefully I get to do that this year.
Oh, that's cool.
Strongly
sure.
recommend it. Strongly
Yeah.
recommend it. What I would suggest though is trying to coincide the trip with high sunspot activity.
Okay.
So if you can get a mapping of when because it will go in cycles, and you want to go at a peak, because then you get a chance to see the northern lights, and it's related to the sunspot activity.
That's
You'll be
cool.
able to get to see it. Iceland is mental. It's like stepping onto
Do
another
you
planet.
recommend Iceland in the summer or in the winter? Or both?
I'm a little mad, so I'm going to caveat that first. I like it in both.
Okay.
But when it's big weather there. It's really big weather there. We went end of November, and I think the warmest it got was -2 ambient centigrade, which was, with the wind chill, about -25. After about 11 o'clock at night, it was bitterly cold. And without the right clothes and proper clothes, you're going to struggle. But again, sunspot activity, northern lights, Goldfoss Falls are just sublime, and you get to see those during the day. You've got the Blue Lagoon as well, which is worth doing. That's a bit of fun. Again, go steady, but great fun. But it's like being on another planet. It's glorious. But what is interesting is it's always been a very good strongman country, very strong person history, and there are artifacts all around the island designed to be lifted and carried. So you will find them everywhere, and you can tour all the way around. If you get a chance to tour all the way around the island, it's spectacular. And again, any time of year.
Amazing. You need
Iceland's glorious.
That, probably 2 weeks, right?
Easily 2 weeks. I mean, if you're going to go summer, then you can do all the stones and stuff, and entertain yourself trying to move something. But it's beautiful. But it's you're on a foreign planet. It's mental.
Well, that would be fun.
I want to do it in summer and winter, like both, not in the same year, but like different.
Yeah. So I like it visiting places more than once. Sometimes there's more things you gather, things you missed the first time. So, well, that's awesome. That's really awesome.
Yeah, I get like super tired when I travel. I don't know how much of it recharges my body, because I come back like so tired all the time, because we've just been like doing things like visiting,
unwinding and relaxing. Yeah, for sure.
So it's definitely not relaxing for my body, but it's relaxing for the soul. Yes.
That's what's important. 100%. Recharging the soul. Yeah. I agree. Well, this has been amazing, Rhiddima. I'm really glad you joined us today and really got to chat with us today. It's really amazing and fascinating. We would love to have you back on.
Yeah.
Once especially
your batch of people, you can start with.
Yeah, we'll go through a bunch of people, but I mean, honestly, I love to learn. And we talked to Danny Fawcett yesterday, and told him the same thing. Right now, here's where we're at. Let's talk months from now.
Yeah.
And find out, hey, how far did we get? What's some new cool things? You may have a totally different story for us. So that would be great. But yeah, thank you for taking the time.
No, absolutely.
Rhiddima. It's Rhiddima, everyone. Make sure you guys remember that.
We're going with your latest projects. We want to see how those develop.
Yes.
Obviously, we can't necessarily talk about them on this session,
right.
But once they become realized, there's some very, very cool things happening that are going to not necessarily change the direction, but they're certainly going to make the direction more complete for
Absolutely.
us.
Yeah.
So thank you. Thank you very, very much.
Again, and hopefully when we talk next, I've already been on my Iceland trip and I can share those.
Yeah, that would be awesome. So yes, make sure you do that.
That happens on the work side of things. Yeah.
Awesome.
All right. Thank you so much. Thanks for having me. And it was great talking to you guys.
Thanks for being here with us.
Absolutely our pleasure. Thank you, Rhiddima. It's an absolute pleasure. All right. So that's been another episode of the Cyber Culture Cafe series, part of the Cyber Talks podcast presented by eSentire. the authority in managed detection and response. To learn how eSentire's next level MDR service can help you strengthen your security program and build cyber resilience, visit eSentire.com. Rhiddima, once again, thank you very much. We look forward to seeing you, the audience, on the next podcast. And thank you very much.
Awesome.
Thank you very much. Awesome.